Austin Gayle here with Pro Football Focus, bringing you UMass wide receiver Andy Isabella, a first-round prospect, one of the fastest wide receivers in this class, a standout at the Reese's Senior Bowl. Andy, it is great to have you. How are you doing?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just down in Tampa training and getting ready for the combine here in a couple weeks.
How's that going so far? How's the training? What are you working on currently? I know Randy Moss isn't there now, so what are you doing now to train?
Just a lot of speed work, a lot of working on the speed. Yo knows what he's doing, so just following what he has to do. But 2 workouts a day. I mean, it's like a 9-to-5 job. We're there at like 7 a.m. and then got out at like 5:30 today, and then be back there at 7 a.m. tomorrow.
It must be nice, though, to focus on football, 100% commit, because, I mean, your whole life you've been going to school, working on other things, and football's been kind of a sidebar. To make it a full-time gig, a 9-to-5 like you described it, how has that been to, like, focus that much of your effort into it?
I love it. I mean, last year at this time I was doing applied math, had some crazy math problems all day, and then having to go work out. So by the time I got to the workouts, I was exhausted. My brain was exhausted just from doing all the crazy math problems I was doing. So just to focus on football is awesome. I mean, it's what I love to do. I don't have to do a bunch of math problems all day. So I mean, I'm blessed. I mean, I can't ask for anything else.
Pushing away the math is never a bad thing. I think even if you're not playing football, getting out of the applied math is a smart move. But here at Pro Football Focus, you ended up earning the highest overall grade we've given a receiver in the last 3 years at 93.2 in 2018. That factors in sure-handedness, ability to separate, yards after catch. What went into this standout season for you at UMass?
I think I always had it in me, even from when I was a freshman. But I think it was just more of just believing in myself and believing that I could do it. I know our team struggled a lot throughout my 4 years at UMass, and that kind of hurts your confidence even as a player, because sometimes you put the games on yourself. But I think this year I just focused on myself. I focused on everything I could do. Didn't worry about other things I couldn't control. I just worried about what I control and just go out there and play and what coach had me doing. I think things just went. When you do that, I think things just come to you. It wasn't like I was trying. It wasn't like I was stretching to make plays come to me. It was more like I was just going out there and doing my job, and the ball was coming to me, and it all came together. It was a great season.
You ended up ranking inside the top 5 in explosive plays, or plays of 15-plus yards. We know big plays win football games. Do you see yourself as this home run threat in the NFL?
That's my goal. I mean, I love watching the big play guys like Tyreek Hill and Tavon Austin and Odell Beckham, and guys that could and Antonio Brown, guys that could just change a game. And that's my goal. I want to be that player that could basically change a game at any moment.
Obviously, your UMass tape is outstanding, but I watched some of your high school tape at Mayfield. You're playing running back and outrunning everybody. You barely get touched on that tape. You also did some kick returning, which was great. How does that experience, playing in the backfield, running routes out of the backfield, taking carries, translate to what you've done as a wide receiver?
I think it definitely helps with after the catch. And after the catch, having running back experience, I mean, you see the field better. You see a lot of things, I think, better as a running back. You get a different perspective. I think it makes you overall a better player if you know more positions and you could do more. So it definitely helped me being a running back, but it definitely was a transition when I got to college, a change in receiver. Mm-hmm. But I think it was a progress over my 4 years. I mean, I think every year there was a little progression every year of getting better, and even the numbers showed like that. But yeah, playing running back, that was always my dream, to be a runner.
Did you get recruited to UMass as a running back, or how did that work? Or did they always want you to be that wide receiver?
I came in as a running back, actually. So the whole freshman camp, I was a running back. Then when I got at the end of the camp, I got to go play scout team at receiver and was killing it at receiver. Just basically running by guys. I had no technique. I was just running as fast as I can to get open. And coach saw that I was working hard on scout team, so he gave me a shot to play special teams my freshman year. Even though I didn't know a single play in the playbook. I knew a couple running back plays. That was my biggest regret. If I had any advice for young guys going in, is study the playbook.
Have you had any discussions with teams currently about your role and where they see you, or is that still kind of being thought out?
Yeah, a lot of teams, of course, when I go in there, they're like, yeah, slot position is going to be where we think you're going to play at. All Senior Bowl week, I was in the slot. It was frustrating because I was, even at UMass this year, I didn't run anything out of the slot. It was all big long pass plays, or I mean, it's maybe short pass plays, but nothing in the slot where I was running like an option route or anything. So I mean, that whole week was almost like an adjustment, and definitely learned a lot from that week and got better playing in the slot and got kind of used to that role that I might have to play. And I thought I did pretty good at the Senior Bowl practices. Thought I had a better game than I had practices, but yeah, most of the teams, they're stigmatizing me in the slot, but other teams, they see that can play outside and do other stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah, Pro Football Focus, in addition to grading every player, we do a lot of pre-snap charting where you lined up. And we saw at UMass this past season, you didn't play a ton in the slot. You played outside, and I'm glad you spoke to that transition at the Senior Bowl. How hard do you think that's going to be? And if you do get, like you said, siloed into the slot position, are you going to, welcome it with open arms, attack it like you would an outside receiver, or do you want to eventually make that push to outside wide receiver?
I think that's how you always start. I think even at UMass, I started off primarily in the slot, and then when I transitioned to my junior year playing outside, or even my sophomore year, I transitioned after the first game to playing outside, being like the number one guy, the Z position, and then played the Z position throughout UMass. But yeah, it's different. I mean, it's a lot of quick game. You don't really open up as much and get running as much as you would like. Especially being a faster guy, it can be. I think it's kind of sometimes frustrating here in the slot. But I mean, I enjoyed it at Oakland, at playing with the Raiders and stuff. But I mean, I know they were just running base plays, so it was kind of getting boring. Where all I was running was like an option route or a drag.
There you go.
But I'm not complaining. It was a good practice week, and I definitely learned. And like I said, I learned a lot. It helped me. In the slot, you really have to run precise routes. You can't just really use your speed to get open. So it really helped me, I think, worked on my routes that week and just being more precise in my routes and stuff like that.
And I think you've hinted at it a little bit. We've talked about it slightly, but I need to talk about your speed. Obviously, there's that tape of you beating Denzel Ward in a race in Mayfield, Ohio in high school. You're a fast guy. That's one of your best traits. Do you see that separating yourself in this class? Do you think you're the fastest wide receiver in this draft class?
We'll see if I'm fully healthy. I had a little hamstring nick up, but I'm getting back healthy, and hopefully by the time I get to the combine, I'll be all the way healthy, and hopefully we'll run something like what Denzel ran, because I know I could do it. I know I ran with Denzel before. Not saying I'm faster than Denzel, even though I beat him twice, and he beat me once in the 200 at States. So I mean, Denzel's a great competitor. I mean, I love running against him. But we'll see if I could pull off what he pulled off at the combine. That's definitely the goal, and I think I have it in me to do it. So we'll see what happens.
Going away from your speed, listed at 5'9", 187 pounds on UMass's site, people are going to bring up your size a lot. They're going to bring it up as a concern and try and push you into the slot and say that you're not going to be able to do things. Do you see your size as a limiting factor, or are you able to work past it and it doesn't even come up?
When I was maybe a freshman, I think I looked at it a lot. I mean, I remember when I played Florida, my first game I really played against. I guess I played against Notre Dame a little. So when I played against Notre Dame, the first time I kind of got in, I was like, "Holy crap, these guys are huge! Like, how the hell am I going to play against these guys?" But once I got to like my junior year and my senior year, we still played Georgia, we played Mississippi State, we played some big schools, and it's like going out there, it's just like it didn't affect me at all. I didn't think about it at all. Even playing at the Senior Bowl, even like these guys, it's just like you get used to it almost. So I don't think size is that big of a deal. I mean, I think there's other things that separate you as a receiver than just being. I mean, big guys are big, and if they can run, that's a plus. But if you're little, you got to be able to run really fast to get away from them. So that's something that hopefully I'll keep as going forward.
Well, we know you're fast, so that's good. And I think in addition to that size, some concern that maybe people come up with is lack of top end competition. You're playing from UMass. People want to bring up that you didn't go against Power 5 guys all the time. What do you say about that discussion? I know that's going to come up, and how do you what's your rebuttal to people saying that you didn't go against these top guys?
I mean, we played against tops. I mean, we played at Mississippi State tough my junior year, and we had a big game there. I think we had like 7 catches, 157 yards, and touchdown versus them. Had a good game, even though we got beat pretty bad versus Georgia. Had a pretty big game there. Played Boston College. Played pretty well versus them. Played Florida my sophomore year. That was kind of my break into college football. Had a big game there. So I mean, I think I played better when I play bigger competition. I think the numbers go up. I get more hyped up. I think it's funner to play bigger competition. So that would be my response, is that playing bigger competition, it basically motivates me even more to go out there and play the best of my ability, basically.
You know, here at Pro Football Focus, we saw that some of your highest graded games came against Power 5 competition. So we're on your side. We totally think that you did well and you rose to the occasion going against Florida, Mississippi State, and other Power 5 schools. You know, another PFF metric in addition to grades that translates very well to the NFL is yards per route run. And in 2018, you averaged a whopping 4.16 yards per route run. You have the efficiency. The sure-handedness obviously speaks to itself. Yards after the catch. Do you think you're the best wide receiver in this class?
I would never say that about. I would never talk about myself in terms of like that. But I mean, I guess it's for other people to say. There's a lot of good players that are playing college football, and maybe we'll see. I mean, I think it's a clean slate now. I think maybe at college level, I think maybe I was. I mean, it's hard to say coming from not just being the record that we had at UMass, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's a clean slate. Basically, everyone's slate is wiped clean, and we start a new career in the NFL. So I guess we'll see who lasts the longest and has the best career in the NFL.
And I know we talked about this before we did this interview, talking about you working with Randy Moss. I want to hear about that experience. What has he taught you, both to when you transition to the NFL? I heard he's doing some good conditioning down there. I'd love to hear about how Randy Moss has impacted your game, improved your game, and really prepared you for the NFL.
I think he tried to prepare us. His big thing, he wanted to prepare us mentally for the NFL. I mean, and he's a no-nonsense guy. I remember we were working with him one day, and some kids came over to put their phones on. He told them to put the phone away. We're working, and it was like 2 hours nonstop of just running routes and stuff. And I'm not even, after the first day of working out, I literally could not walk. I couldn't even get in my car. I was that sore. And the next day we had to come out and do the exact same thing. Exact thing. I could barely even walk or breathe. It was crazy. But he's a tough guy, and he said one of the things he said is like, this is how you have to work if you want to make it at this level. He said he worked out with some guys, and he says half the guys quit on him after one day. Some NFL guys that are in the NFL right now quit on him after one day. And he said those guys aren't doing anything in the NFL. So he said if you want to make it, you really got to outwork everyone, and you got to push to be the best every day. And you can't. There's going to be days where you don't feel good, but you still got to go out there and work out. You got to get better every day.
Randy Moss isn't a name that comes up when they compare receivers to you. It's Julian Edelman, it's Wes Welker, it's these small slot types, and everyone wants to pin you down and peg you as this guy that's going to be stuck in the slot. That's all he can do. But I want to hear from you. What is Andy Isabella in the NFL? What does he bring to an NFL team? I know just from talking to you now that you're not just a Wes Welker type. You're not just any one thing. But I'd love to hear what your opinion of yourself is at the next level.
Like we mentioned earlier, I think I could do it all. I mean, if they want to put me at running back, I could do that. If they want to put me on outside, I could do that. If they want to put me in the inside, then I think I showed at the Senior Bowl that I could do that as well. So I think they get a player that can be moved all over. That if a guy goes down in one spot, he could fill that. If a guy goes down in another spot, he could fill that. So if a guy is going to be a team player and basically could fill whatever role they need to be filled.
Mr. Do-It-All, I can take that. That's fantastic. And thank you for joining us here at Pro Football Focus. It's been a pleasure. You're a great guy. I wish you the best moving forward. Training goes well. I hope Randy Moss teaches you more great things. Shoot him my number. I could use some conditioning here and there. Always good for me. But again, thanks again for your time. We appreciate you. And thank you for joining us here at Pro Football Focus.